Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for the support. So I'm still working through this free kit that came with magazine 76, so I'm on the third little set now. This is the In the Forest, where you've got the beautiful stag, the little hedgehog, the stag tags, another stag there, and then you've got the quite large squirrel as well. And then for the cardstock, you've got the foiled one with these beautiful ferns, and then you've got the squirrel with all these little cones, like conifer cones, no, just cones, aren't they? They're the ones that are sort of open up when it's warm and close when it's cold, which we always used to have on our window ledge, our windowsill as children, because Mum said they would tell us the weather, although we never really thought to look at them. But hey ho. So I thought I'd do my first card. I'm going to do something that you haven't seen on my channel before. Now don't get too excited because it's only one of these 6x8 cards, but I'm doing it as an easel card. So I'm just going to take one of these card blanks and I'm going to grab my little tool here. And if I put it this way, it's just going to make it easier for myself. And I'm just going to score that at the 4-inch mark. Okay, and then that should fold in quite nicely. Now I'm doing the kind of easel where my top is going to come above it. If you want to do a full easel, then you'll just need to cut another piece of 8x6 and then just put it straight on top, and then you can do your matting and layering on top of that. So let's just pop that out of the way. And I'm going to bring in this bone folder, which someone did say was called a porcelain bone folder, but it is super good. I do like using it. So that's the start of our card. Okay, so if I bring the trimmer in, I want a full mat for the bottom here, so that's going to be the 8x6. Obviously I'll take 2 notches off because I like to see the white, and then this piece here is going to be 4x6, and that's going to be my top layer there. So let's start with a piece of gold mirror card because the foiling is all gold, and I'm going to start by taking that 2 notches under the 6, and then if I just flip that arm right there, we can go 2 notches under the 8. Let's have a little look, see how that fits onto that bottom piece. I'm just going to take a tiny weeny bit more off, just because it's right to the top of that fold. So take that bit off. I did take it 2 notches under it. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. And then this piece here, we can go with 2 notches under 4. I don't know if I've cut that the wrong way now. No, I haven't. And then 2 notches under 8. Oh, I have, you know. What have I done? What have I done? No, so that is right. So 4, and then it's 6. Sorry, 2 notches under 6. So, panic moment over. And then we're just going to check that again. And again, I'm just going to take a little extra off because it's just right on that fold. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's pop these bits out of the way. Let's save those for our little borders and things. Pop those in the bin. Okay, so for the bottom piece here, I'm going to use this foiled one, I think. Yeah, so we're going to go 5 3/4, and that's going to be by 7 3/4. Now obviously I might have to take a little bit off here because we did take that extra notch off, but let's just see how that fits first of all. Yeah, so let's just take Another little bit. I'd rather check it before I amend it, because once it's off you can't pop it back. Yeah, that's better. So we'll have that on the bottom. And then for this top piece here, I'm going to come in with one of the papers, which is the double-sided one with the pattern, which is a sort of more vivid shade of that, but I'm going to use this side here. So I'm going to come 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then we'll just check what that looks like. That one's perfect. Okay, and these papers have really come in handy, so I really love that we've had those to play with as well. So let's pop that out of the way. Now obviously if you wanted to, what you could do is come in and emboss there. You can add things to it. With it being matastic, you can come in and add glitter to it, all sorts. I just noticed I've got a bruise, I'm not quite sure where that's come from. So you know, you've got all those options. You could even come in, if you had a stamp you liked with fern, you could come in on this other side, stamp your fern, and you know, sort of really add to the texture of your card. So all those little ideas there. And you might even have an embossing folder that has ferns on, so that would really pick up the detail in that. I just realised I didn't put any in the corners. So the glues I'm using, they're going to be the same ones I always use, which is the Kalau tacky glue in here. Still haven't got a replacement yet. I did look on Emerald Craft. Somebody very kindly said, oh, look at Emerald Crafts, and I did, but they're out of stock unfortunately. So I might have to, well, the thing is, at the moment there isn't anything I want from Crafter's Companion. There are some pens my sister might like, so her birthday's coming up fairly shortly, so I might get her some pens. Well, they're yeah, they are pens. They're the Colour Fast. Is it Colour Fast? Colour spelt the American way, something. And I got her for Christmas. I got her one of the little boxes that had some pens and some images in, and she quite liked them. So I did think about, because she likes to have collections of things. She loves her colouring. She does, not at the minute, mind you, because she is finding it very hard to deal with Anthony and everything. She finds her mind racing. I have odd moments really where you realise, oh, I can't tell him this, I can't, you know, it's like when Mum went, really. All of a sudden there was things we wanted to know, and no mum to ask. It's the same with Anthony, you know, something comes on that I know he would comment on or like, and you know what it's like. It's just not great. But she finds her mind racing for some reason. I'm not quite sure. It's just the way she's wired, I guess. So she hasn't been doing any colouring. I think she's been more interested in her sort of religion at the minute. That's what's getting her through. So the reason why I don't put this glue on paper is because it is a wetter glue, and I don't want to risk the paper sort of rocking up as it dries, because paper, when it gets wet, it tends to sort of swell up and buckle and things. So I use the this is a Crafter's Companion one. The Hunkydory one will do exactly the same thing. Just put those on the corners just to hold that in place so I can move on with my project while the glues settle. Okay, so that's the start of our card. So nice and easy. So far so good. And then let's take out this Mahusif deer. A really big top of this one. And it's a handsome stag, that's for sure. And then I think for a stopper, I might go with To My Dear Friend, mainly because it's green and it's probably going to be around about in the middle on there, so that's going to stand up nicely against that brown. And I think that's all I want from there. Okay, so let's just pop that down nice and flat. So I do want this to be coming above. Don't know if I'm going to use all of these layers yet. I probably won't, I usually don't. I'm going to get myself a storage box to put all these frames in. I seem to have collected quite a few lately. Okay, so we've got that one. And then we're going to have this on here. I think what I might do before then though is just take a little bit of this paper, or we could go with the woody side on them. I'm just thinking, I just want something, it looks a bit boring with that flat colour. I'm just wondering whether to put a border of the wood or whether to come in with something stronger like that tartan, or we could have the browner version. Sorry, that's the cap. I actually think the browner version is going to be better. So I'm just going to do a little piece to go across just to break it up. I mean, I could even go with like just a corner. No, let's do a border. So I'm going to cut that out 1 inch. So it's still going to leave me quite a nice chunk of cardstock there. That's going to be 5 inches. So if I went there and there, I've got probably 2 5-inch cards. And I'm going to want that to be 5 3/4. And then if I take one of these pieces that I had from earlier of this gold, I'm just going to take that to 1 2 notches. Let's put a little bit of tape on there, which I've hidden. There we go. Just to keep that nice and straight. So again, we've got a nice little piece left over there. And I'm going to cut it down to 2 notches under the 6. And that should go quite nicely into there. I might even put a little bit of a ribbon across it. So I've got green ribbon, which is in a bundle with some blue on my desk because I've been using it quite a lot lately. Or I have got gold, of course, or I've got this sort of creamy brown. I might go with a creamy brown, a sort of a dirty peach colour, I suppose. So I don't want it to be too in your face, so that this still could be quite a masculine card. I'll just have to find where that edge goes. Let's take that off for a minute. And we'll just use that out. There we go, so that's going to be enough. And I'm just going to come back in with this ribbon, try and keep it together, because that's how I ended up with this tangle of ribbon on my desk. So we just want that to be there. You could go with a thicker one, you could go with any of the colours in this, you know, you could go green, sort of yellow probably would work because you've got those sort of yellowy browns there. But I'm going to go with this sort of lighter brown because we've gone with the darker brown on the actual piece that we're doing. And this is just to break it up, just to stop it looking quite so boring. Sort of draw that eye in, you know. Okay, so let's just pop that there. I still have my red liner tape. I've decided to tidy it away again where I can't find it. And I'm just going to pop that on the back. On the back. We just give that a little smooth down before I put that onto there, because it's going to be sticky on the back once I put my ribbon on. So I just want to figure out whether I want to go in the middle or near the bottom on it. I could go near the top. Sorry if you can hear my tummy talking. Yeah, I think I'm going to go about an inch from the bottom. And the only reason why I do that, like I say, is going to be, the only reason I'm doing that is just because this is going to be sticky once I take this off. And pretty much going to stick to whatever it comes into contact with. Put like the red back in, which is not leaving me. I must be quite staticky today. Let's try. Ah, there we go. Put it on my cardigan. Cardigan's full of static. Okay, so I'm just going to go bring that across. Hopefully I've left myself enough room. No, I haven't. So let's go about there. That should be enough there. Plenty. And the trick is to pull it tight without bending or warping the card. So now I can come in with some Pull-Out all-purpose glue, and I always just put a little blob under my ribbon and on top, just to make sure that A, it doesn't fray, and B, it does get stuck down quite nicely. So let's just come across and about there. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, so now we can come in with this. So it's just got a little bit of pips there, a bit proud. So I've got the email just before I started today. Hunkydory for this week, what's coming up. And I think it's like Thursday we've got a new decollage set, which looks quite floral, so I think that's going to be a winner chicken dinner. I love decoupage, to be honest, but I don't think they always make for the best videos, to be honest, because you know, it's pretty much similar thing, only different cards, isn't it? But alright, so I think what I'll do is I'm going to do 2mm. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to do 1mm on the frame. So if I pop that down that way, and I can pop some of these teeny weeny squares on, which I am getting through quite nicely now, so I'm quite happy about that. And then I'm going to have the centre at 2mm. I think I might do the gold piece flat. I might pop it in just for a bit of a difference in the sort of texture, so, and you don't really see this bar behind as much, so all adds to the design. There we go. So let's just take the backs off. I had the email on Friday that my Hunkydory order with the club gift and the unicorns is on its way, so I should get that tomorrow. It's usually like 48 hours, isn't it? Unless they've sent it with a Royal Mail back, it might be quite a heavy one. I don't know, but hopefully I'll get it tomorrow. I have made some other cards again as part of my challenge. I think there's about four photos, 4 or 5 photos that I'm going to put up today. There's a couple of others, but what I need to do, and I haven't done yet, is get my foiler out, my with my Spellbinder foil dies, and because there's just nothing in the book that matches in the colour or looks how I want it to look, really. So I'm definitely going to need to do some, just checking, we're only there, so yeah, I'm going about here. There we go. And then this one, I'll pop that on the inside. So again, we need to know where we're going to, so if I just pop it to there, no, not going any further. Some of those blobs are a bit heavy, so let's just take some off my arm. And I know I'm not allergic to this glue, so please don't do this unless you've sort of test patched a little bit on yourself. Same as you would do as if you were having your hair dye, because some people can be allergic to it. I don't think I'm allergic to anything except for like latex plasters. When I had an operation a couple of years ago, they put one on my side and it went quite bad. But that's the first time I've ever had a reaction to anything in my life. So these are 2mm, so this is just going to give us a little bit of height. Oops. I think that might be enough. Let's have a little look. I've got a little bit of an offcut there, so let's just put that on. So just pop these off. This one's nearly done, so I think I'm not going to do any bows with a ribbon or anything, so I'm just going to do I think some of those pearl gems, you know, my favourite ones. I'll do some, oh, I thought I'll put the stopper on as well. I'm going to stride. Obviously I've been talking so long. There we go. Oh, might have a blockage again. Really need to experiment with the Hunkydory one, because I have got quite a lot of that, and even a pen. Maybe I'll try it on the next card. Let's see how it goes. Oh, this is moving. So I'm just putting some glue on the back. There must be a little blockage in there. I'm getting annoyed with that now, so yeah, there we go. So let's pop our lovely little stag in. Well, it's not little, he's quite majestic, this guy. Be nice to see over the sort of heathers of the Highlands. I know there's some of you out there that probably do have you know, views like that, which I just think would be amazing. Right, so these are 3mm foam pads from, actually no, I'm not going to use those, so, sorry, just because I don't want the card to be too high. What I've been trying to do is keep my cards a little less high, because I think it just makes them more attractive if anybody wants to buy them. You know, ultimately I'm hoping these will go and be sold for the charity. Just need to get this back off. So yeah, so I just think they're a bit more attractive to people. Certainly when I used to do the shows and that, it was usually the sort of normal cards that were sold first. Usually tended to be other you know, other creators, other crafters that would buy the odd shaped card, well, not odd shaped, but you know, more different shapes, should I say, different shaped cards. More interesting, I would say, but okay. So where is my little picky upper? We'll use this one, and I'm going to go with 3 in this corner. So I might go 3 the sort of same. I've got this one, got that one. I think you're about the same size, yes you are. And then I'm going to carefully pop that down. Hopefully they're not going to move, I will have to check. And I'm going to put 1 and 2 up there. And this one, I think I might go for a bigger one and a slightly smaller one. Let's go for you because you are at the same size as the ones on the bottom, and then you because you're a little bit smaller. Okay, so they look like they haven't moved, although they have spread the glue a little. Let's get one of our teeny weeny wipers. And these are the, I always call them teeny weeny, but they are, well, they're teeny tiny daubers. Okay, so that is that card complete. Now the only thing is, if somebody wants to write on this one, I'm either gonna have to put an insert in the middle for them to do that there, or they could possibly write on the back. But if I show that one to you there, whoop, no, that's falling down. Yep, so you can see we've got that larger easel size. Okay, so that is card number 1. So I'm just going to move a few things around, get ready for card number 2. I'm coming back with a piece of 6x12. And I thought I would make a 6x6 off-centre gatefold, because we have got those lovely papers, and I do want to use them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at the 4-inch mark, and then I'm going to turn that around and score at the 2-inch. So we've got 6 inches across the middle here, and you can have these at any size you want. So obviously if you wanted it to be a proper gatefold, you'd have 3 inches and 3 inches. So you'd have 3 inches and then you'd have 6-inch space and then a 3-inch space. But if you wanted to have the 2-inch on that side, you could do. You could even have a 1-inch and a 5-inch. You know, there's loads of options for this off-centre gatefold. So let's just pop that out the way. Bring these folds in. I will go over it with that other brown folder. Actually, what I'm going to do is turn it around because it's slightly whiter on the other side. I just find most cards have a good side, like a white side, and a slightly darker side. Okay, so that's the card as it stands at the moment. So because we're doing this gatefold, you've got a couple of spaces we need to decorate. We need the inside. So normally I would do that with an insert if I've got one, because ultimately at the end of the day they're probably going to be writing on it. But I'm going to be using one of the papers instead. And then we've got our 2 pieces at the front we need to decorate as well. So let's get started with those layers. So I'm going to start with, again, the gold, because we've got the gold there. And for the front, I need to do a piece that's 2 notches under the 2 and 2 notches under the 6. That one's going to go on that side there. Just make sure that looks nice. Yes, it does. And then this piece here, I'm going to do that one 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 6. Oops. So I'm just trying not to cut myself like I did the other week. And that should go on to this piece here. Just, it's not looking very straight, that is it? Yeah, that's a bit better. And then we want another piece of 6x6 gold, and I'm just going to take 2 notches off that. So there's 1 and 2 notches off that side, and then this should fit inside. And you want to make sure that you're nowhere near those creases, because if they are, your card isn't going to turn in as nicely as you would like it to. Okay, so for the inside, I think I'm going to stay with the browns. I know it's not the most interesting, but it's going to be quite easy to write on this, is my thinking. So let me just turn that around. I know that's the straight edge, and I'm just going to cut a nice square that's 5 3/4, 5 3/4, and you could always just print out the insert from, you just download it, don't you? I still haven't done that. I really should have done that, but I haven't. Okay, so that's that bit done. And then for the front, let's have a little look. I want to use the squirrel elsewhere. So if I move my glues out the way, no, let's do it that way, make it easy on myself. So the first piece I'm going to do is this smaller piece, which is going to be 1 3/4. It should be there. And then I'm going to take it from the top so the corner isn't quite so pronounced. So I'm going to 5 3/4. So that means that we've just got that little edge of a corner there. And if I pop that onto there, that should fit quite nicely. And it does. And that's a nice enough piece to foil on, you know, any of that really. Okay, so this next piece needs to be 3 3/4. So I'm going to go to 3 3/4. And again, I'm going to take from the top because we've cut our corner off. It would look a bit weird, although we could have it at the bottom instead. So we could have a piece on the bottom and a piece at the top. No, I don't like that, but you've got that option there. So that's not cut that. So this is going at 5 3/4. So you're just going to see a tiny little edge of that. I think I need to take a little tiny piece off the edge of that. It's just a little bit too big. Let's have a look at that. Take a teeny bit off that top. It's just the borders aren't quite even, so yeah, that's a bit better. Okay. And let's pop that out the way a second. Now obviously remember, if you've got a wooden embossing panel, something like that, that would look really nice. You can also come over with your inks if you wanted to distress this a little bit. You know, you've got all of those decisions that you can make because it is the Matastic. And that's the brilliant thing about it, is it just allows you to play even more than you can with the adorable Scoreable, in my honest opinion. So, although to be fair, the adorable Scoreable does look gorgeous embossed as well. So I'm just checking, yeah, so it is going to fit quite nicely. So I'm just putting these layers on, and then we'll pop those on. And I'm not using the huge squirrel piece, I don't think. So I'm in two minds of whether to use the big squirrel one on this or not, because if I don't, then that means that I'm going to be using that big squirrel piece with here, so that means it's going to be quite hidden. So I don't know, we'll make up our mind when we get that far. But I don't know if that topper might be too big for this piece or for this card. Right, okay, so let's just carry on what we were doing. So again, just keeping going with these layers. I'm just putting these on, giving them time to sit before I pop them on the card, just because we're going to be doing some work on it after. So again, because it's paper, just popping that on, letting the all-purpose glue guide us into position, and then once I'm happy I can give it a squash down. Those glue dots will connect and they'll keep that there and in place while we move on. So I'm going to leave that piece until last. Let's have a little play with these. So again, more glue, not using any ribbon on this one. I might come in with a bit of glitter on those pine cones though, make them a little bit frosty, which would then make it perfect for a winter birthday card. So you don't have to be thinking this time of year, even though the leaves are green, you do get some sort of foliage around about that time, especially like the sort of ferny things. Yeah, so it's definitely something that you could use all year round, this one anyway, definitely for sure. Especially if you went ahead and put the stag on it, that would make stunning sort of winter birthday card. Okay, so we've got our layers on there, like so. So let's pop this piece in, a little bit of tacky glue, and then we can come in with our all-purpose. So now, because we're on that cardstock, we're actually gluing onto the mirror card. We can go with our normal glues. We can be confident that that's not going to buckle up or cause us any problem later on. So we'll pop that in, and there we go. Right, let's grab our topper sheet. Okay, so let's pop this squirrel out. We'll have a little look. She says she'll pop it out, and then my hands are not working the way they used to. I'm using what a bit of stress will do to you, buddy. Okay, let's have a little look. Excuse me, Mr. Squirrel. Okay. So we could still come central. I don't think I'm going to. I think probably I'm going to use that stag, to be honest, but let's see. I'm going to need this out and probably play with it later anyway. Or we could come with a hedgehog. Hedgehog might be nice. Okay, so sometimes if you've got a lot of layers, it's nice to sort of have one glued on one side, one glued on the other, so that they open like a door. But I think if I'm going to do this, I would have to glue them both on that side, and that sort of side there is putting a bit of pressure to sort of try and pop up. Let's just pop it down. Better. Let's make a decision. Do we want the squirrel? Do we not want the squirrel? So put that piece there. The other piece has got the stag on. I think I am going to go with this squirrel, and I think I might. Yeah, we could go with that side. No, we're going to go in the middle. We're going to do it. Going to go in the middle. Both of them are going to be glued on one side. I think I'm going to miss that golden layer out because I think it's going to be too flimsy, not flimsy, I could back it on something if I had the exact same dye, but I don't. So let's go ahead, and I think we'll go the other way around with this one. So let's pop him upside down so I can put these in the right place. Right piece there. Let's just go to about there. there. And there. Let's see how that feels. I might need one more, about there, I think. Yep. So those are the 1mm, and then we've got some 2mm, which are here. We might need some more. Okay, so let's just flip that over. Actually, I have got some strips at the back. Are they ones or twos? No, they are two. Here we go. This is what we want. So let's just pop that on there. Just going to move that up and around. That might have come over a bit too much actually. Let's just go up to that circle. Right. Or that sort of the rounded point, we'll just go there. I think that should be plenty. Right, so now we need to get this kind of straight. So just going to get these backs off. So I finished playing with, you know, in my spare time with those floral frames. So I literally have used every piece up. There is one piece of blue that I can see because I couldn't find it when I was making the card, so I went with something else. I went with one of the Dura design pads. I think it's like the grunge one. So I wanted it to be like quite a masculine one, even though it's a flower. People, you know, men like flowers too. Otherwise there won't be quite so many gardeners. But yeah, so I went with a grunge pad. And I quite like the way it turned out. But I did find it afterwards, so gonna see. There's bound to be a topper here that's, you know, you always get the like the favourite topper ones, don't you, in the goodie box as well. So there's bound to be something that will go on that blue. Right, okay. So we just want this to be in the middle. There we go. And then this one we can pop those straight off. Yeah, so I've started working backwards with the kits that I've been using sort of most recently. So I've used, I made a couple of cards with the floral flowers one that I did. I got a topper set with the goodie box. So when I opened the goodie boxes, I made just one card with it. So I've made another 2 cards with that set. I'm not sure if I'll be going back. I'm not sure if it's going to be the cats next. I'm not sure what's going to be in the pile there. So just going to work my way through the pile of stuff. Hopefully make it back to the boxes of stuff. I've got like 3 A4 boxes. Might even be 4. Hunkydory stuff, Christmas, decolages, all sorts. Hundreds of topper sets. So plenty to choose from. Okay, so let's go with birthday wishes, I think. We just have to decide where we want that to be. I think I want that to come down here. Now, if I pop that on the edge there, just going to take a little snip off it because I want it to be flush with the edge, but I want it to be coming off of this semicircly bit there. I'm going to go with a 1mm. Actually, let's not use those, let's use these little ones. So this is going to be the same height as that frame. You have to let me know what you've been excited about lately. I know a couple of you had said, you know, I've seen on the sites about getting your fairy one, which is the club gift at the minute, which is lovely. So it did sell out, I think, and they had to start remanufacturing it again. but they're only doing it one more time, that's it. So they're not making any more if this lot goes. So if you were thinking about the fairy gift, sooner rather than later would be my advice. Okay, so we're just going to pop that in. Just want a tiny bit of gap between that, and then that's going on to there. So you can see that's flush with the card, so it should still go in an envelope. So I'm going to bring in, just to finish, I will get some gems as well, but I've got the Crafter's Companion clear sparkle overlay pen, and I was using this the other day, so it should be ready to go. Yeah, I can see it is. And I'm just going around the edges. There is like a white edge to these pine cones, that's what they are. I knew. Just along the edge, and I'm going to do some on here as well. You could go over the whole thing if you wanted, but I think it's probably just going to be more effective just to do little sort of C shapes on these pine cones. So it just looks like it's picking up a little bit of light. And just got a little bit there. Do I want to do it on the frame? No, because I think we've got the gold there, so we won't do it on there. So we'll just do it on that piece there. I think we'll come in with these gems that I got with the goodie box. So they're quite a nice gold. I think that's going to go in quite nicely with them. So I'm going to go with not too many here, just one and two little ones. I'm not going back, just a little bit of decoration on that one. Okay, so that's there. If you wanted to, you could go ahead like with let's say one of your trimmy pads, cut a piece to size, and then mount it on a bit of gold, pop it in the middle if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave that as is. So that's that card finished. So the two cards that you've got today are this 8x6 easel card. First time I've ever made one of those on this channel. Probably not going to be the last, to be honest. And then obviously the little off-center gatefold, which I do love. The off-center gatefolds, they are my favourite. Normal gatefolds, a bit boring, but the off-center ones, or ones where you cut it into a circle, I've done those before, they are a little bit more interesting. But that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching. Next time we're going to come back with the last sheet, which has my beautiful little Scotty dog on in a tiny weeny little square. Let me show you. So he is definitely going to be going on a card, although he will not be leaving me. He will be staying with me. Any Scotty dog cards I keep, just because I love the Scotty dog so much. And did you know they're actually on the endangered like breeds mix for the UK, because the amount of births of Scottish Terrier puppies is in decline and has been declining for some time. So if you want to do yourself a favour, save a Scotty dog, because I tell you, they will bring you so much joy. They are so full of attitude, and they have the biggest brown eyes. They're like chimpanzee eyes. When they look at you, they look like they know what you're thinking before you're even thinking it. They are just the most beautiful dogs. And you don't even have to have them in black, because they come in black, white or brindle, which is kind of like a brownie mix. So I'm hoping, like when Henry and George go, that I'm going to get a brindle one, but Donna is not too keen on me having a Scotty, because she wants a dachshund, I think. Yeah, a dachshund. So, but we'll see who wins, because it's probably going to be me, seeing as I brought all the dogs into this house. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Sorry for chattering on about Scotty dogs. But take care of yourselves, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.